Welcome to my channel Liberty Old Coin and History Enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a fascinating story about a piece of metal that's so much more than just pocket change. It's a story of economics. First up, let's talk about the star of our show. The 1971 Australian 50-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II. This isn't just any ordinary coin. It's a piece of Australian history that tells a remarkable story. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of its value, let's understand why this coin even exists. The story actually begins a few years earlier, in 1966, when Australia first introduced decimal currency. The original 50-cent coin was a large, round coin made of 80% silver. However, there was a massive problem. You see, the price of silver began to rise so much that the metal inside the coin became more valuable than the coin's face value of 50 cents. People started hoarding them and even melting them down for their silver content. It was a financial disaster for the mint. So to fix this, the Royal Australian Mint had to act fast. In 1969, they introduced a new, completely different 50-cent coin. This new version was made of a cheaper copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel, and had a unique, distinctive 12-sided shape. This is the coin that was being produced in 1971, and it's the one we're talking about today. So was the 1971 coin made for a special occasion? Not really. It was the standard circulating coin for that year, produced to replace the silver ones that had been taken out of circulation. The design, however, is spectacular. The obverse features the iconic second portrait of a young Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin, while the reverse showcases the Australian coat of arms, supported by a kangaroo and an emu, designed by Stuart Devlin. Now let's get to the question everyone is asking. Why is this coin so valuable? Well, the key here is that we're talking about one single coin, and the value isn't just a myth. It's very real. The primary reason this coin is so sought after is its condition. A coin that has been in circulation for decades will be worn down, but a coin that was stored away and kept in pristine, uncirculated condition is incredibly rare. For a coin that's over 50 years old, finding one that looks like it was minted yesterday is a real challenge. Here's the exciting part. The value goes up exponentially the better the condition. For example, a 1971 50-cent coin in mint state 63, MS63, grade can be worth around 20 ***. But if you have one in MS65, that price jumps to $40 or more. But it gets even better. The maximum value for a standard 1971 50-cent coin is achieved at the highest grades. A coin graded MS66 is valued at around 45 ***, and the real treasure is the MS67 grade, which can fetch up to $121. That is an incredible return on a coin that was only worth 50 cents. However, for the absolute pinnacle of value, you need to look at the proof versions. These are special, highly polished coins that were not meant for circulation, but for collectors. The Royal Australian Mint only produced 10,000 proof versions of the 1971 50-cent coin. This extreme rarity makes them highly valuable. While prices can vary, a 1971 proof 50-cent coin is a prized possession for any serious collector, with some examples realizing prices well over $100 to $200 at auction. To put it simply, the maximum amount you could sell this coin for depends entirely on its condition. On the lower end, a well-worn coin might only be worth its face value or a couple of dollars. But a flawless, uncirculated coin, especially the rare MS67 or a proof version, is a completely different story. That little 50-cent piece could be worth $121 or even more to the right collector. Now you might be thinking, is it really that valuable? The answer is a resounding yes. The value is driven by a simple economic principle, supply and demand. With over 21 million of these coins minted for circulation, most are common. But the few that have survived in perfect condition are incredibly scarce, and that scarcity is what drives the price up. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for a piece of history that looks as good as the day it was made. So what's the motivation for you? This is your call to action. Go and check your old coin jars, your piggy banks, or that box of old things in the attic. You could be sitting on a small gold mine without even realizing it. Just one coin could be worth over $100. Remember, this isn't about a collection of coins. It's about the individual coin you might have. The value we've discussed is for a single 1971 50-cent coin in exceptional condition. So, take a close look at every single one you find. Examine it carefully. Look at the details on Queen Elizabeth's face and the coat of arms. Is the luster still there? Does it look brand new? If so, you might have found a winner. Don't just spend it. But here's the real question. What would you do if you found one? The excitement of the hunt is just the beginning. The world of coin collecting is filled with stories of ordinary people finding extraordinary treasures. The 1971 50-cent coin is a perfect example of how history, art, and economics can collide to create something truly valuable. It's a tangible piece of Australia's past that could also be a ticket to a nice little payday. So what are you waiting for? Start searching today. You never know what you might find lurking in your spare change. That unassuming 50-cent piece could be your hidden treasure. Good luck and happy hunting. Next coin, Australia 50-cent Elizabeth II coin 1975, is one of those fascinating Australian coins that continues to attract the attention of collectors around the world. Even decades after it was released, many people still search through old collections hoping to discover an outstanding example that could be worth much more than its face value. The coin was issued by the Royal Australian Mint during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. It features Arnold Machin's portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, while the reverse displays Australia's famous coat of arms designed by Stuart Devlin. This iconic design has become one of the most recognizable symbols on Australian circulating coinage. The year 1975 represents an interesting period in Australia's numismatic history. During the 1970s, millions of Australians used these coins every day, yet few imagined that decades later collectors would carefully examine them for condition, rarity, and special characteristics. What makes collectors excited about a 1975 Australia 50-cent coin is not simply its age. The real attraction comes from finding examples that have remained in exceptional condition despite years of circulation. Coins with sharp details and original mint luster always attract greater attention. Many experienced collectors believe that preserving coins properly today can make a significant difference in their future desirability. As more coins become worn or damaged over time, the number of outstanding examples naturally becomes smaller. The Australia 50-cent coin is also admired because it is the country's largest circulating coin by size. Its distinctive 12-sided shape makes it instantly recognizable, and unlike most coins found around the world. Every year new collectors enter the hobby, creating continued interest in classic Australian coins. This ongoing demand helps keep attention focused on older issues, such as the 1975 Elizabeth II 50-cent coin. The history behind this coin reflects Australia's growing economy and national identity during the mid-1970s. It circulated through countless shops, businesses, and households, making it a genuine piece of everyday Australian history. Collectors often search for coins with outstanding eye appeal. A bright, well-preserved example can attract considerably more interest than an ordinary circulated coin. Professional grading has become increasingly important in the coin market. Certified high-grade examples are often sought after because buyers have greater confidence in their authenticity and condition. The current market value depends heavily on the coin's preservation, quality, and whether it has any collectible characteristics that make it stand out. Attractive circulated examples generally sell for only a modest premium, while exceptional uncirculated or certified high-grade pieces can sell for well over $100, with some outstanding examples reaching several $100s when demand is strong. Looking ahead, many collectors believe older Australian coins will continue attracting interest as the hobby grows worldwide. While no one can predict future prices with certainty, premium quality examples could become increasingly desirable if collector demand continues to increase. One reason collectors remain optimistic is that high-grade coins become harder to find every year. As surviving pristine examples become scarcer, competition among buyers can become stronger. If you happen to own a clean, well-preserved 1975 Australia 50-cent coin, it may be worth examining carefully before spending or selling it. Small differences in condition can have a noticeable impact on collector interest. The Royal Australian Mint has produced many memorable coins, but the classic circulating 50-cent series continues to hold a special place in Australian numismatics because of its unique design and long history. Auction results over the years have shown that collectors are willing to pay strong prices for coins that combine outstanding preservation with eye appeal. This is why careful storage has become so important among serious collectors. Some collectors enjoy building complete year-by-year sets of Australian 50-cent coins. This steady demand helps maintain interest in earlier dates, including the 1975 issue. Although millions were originally produced, finding an example that looks almost exactly as it did when it left the mint is far more challenging today. That is why top-condition coins always receive the greatest attention. The excitement of coin collecting comes from the possibility that an ordinary-looking coin could actually be an impressive collectible when examined closely. Every detail matters, from the sharpness of the design to the quality of the surfaces. Whether you are an experienced collector or someone who has just discovered an old coin in a drawer, the Australia 50-cent Elizabeth II coin 1975 remains an important piece of Australian history. With growing collector interest and the continuing search for exceptional examples, this classic coin is likely to remain one of the most talked-about Australian circulating coins for years to come. Second coin, let's talk about the 1999 Australian 50-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II. You've probably got one sitting in a jar somewhere, or maybe you've seen one online and wondered if it's your ticket to a small fortune. Well, you're about to find out the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about this fascinating piece of Australian numismatic history. First, the most important question: what is it actually worth? If you pull a standard, everyday 1999 50-cent coin from your pocket, the value is exactly 50 cents, or about 33 cents in US dollars. That's it. The standard copper-nickel coin is not rare. In fact, the Royal Australian Mint produced a staggering 20,318,000 of these coins for general circulation in 1999. With that many out there, the simple answer is that it's just not valuable. But wait, this is where the story gets interesting. The low value only applies to the standard coin. There are other, much more valuable versions of the 1999 50-cent coin that you need to know about. The key to unlocking real value lies in the coin's composition and finish. The Royal Australian Mint also produced a 1999 proof strike 50-cent coin. These are specially made for collectors with a mirror-like finish and a much lower mintage of just 28,000. Because it's made of 99.9% fine silver, its melt value alone is substantial, currently sitting at around $36.80. However, a coin's collector value often far exceeds its melt value, and this proof coin is a perfect example of that principle. Now let's talk about the real prize. In 1999, the Royal Australian Mint released a special collector set called Masterpieces in Silver Coins of the 20th Century, Memories. This set included a stunning, round 50-cent coin made of fine silver, but it's not the standard coat of arms design. Its reverse features the design of the 1918 Australian sixpence, with a mintage of only 15,000 sets, making it highly collectible. The issue price for the entire 6-coin set back in 1999 was $125. A single coin from this set can fetch a significant premium, and its value is much higher than the regular 50-cent piece. So how many people want to buy it? The demand is driven entirely by the version of the coin. For the standard circulated coin, demand is essentially zero. There are millions of them, so no serious collector is seeking them out. The market is flooded, which keeps the price at face value. But for the proof silver coin, and especially the silver masterpieces in silver set coin, the demand is very real and quite strong. Collectors of Australian coins, silver investors, and those who appreciate fine craftsmanship are all actively seeking these pieces. The low mintage of the Memories coin creates a classic case of high demand meeting very limited supply, which is a recipe for value appreciation. Now about the history. Why was this coin made in the first place? 1999 was a landmark year for Australian coinage. It marked the first time the new fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, was used on all standard Australian circulating coins. This wasn't just a new design, it was a significant historical shift, updating the monarch's image for a new era. The Queen is depicted wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This portrait replaced the previous one by Raphael Makhlouf, which had been in use since 1985. Finding a coin from the very first year of a new portrait is always significant for collectors. The reverse of the standard coin features the Australian coat of arms, a timeless design by Stuart Devlin that has been a mainstay of the 50-cent coin since its introduction as a 12-sided coin in 1969. The classic design is iconic, featuring the kangaroo and emu supporting a shield that represents the 6 states of Australia. The 50-cent coin itself has a fascinating history. It was first introduced as a round, silver coin in 1966. However, the rising price of silver meant the metal in the coin became worth more than its face value. This forced the government to change its composition. In 1969, the round silver coin was withdrawn and replaced with the large, 12-sided copper-nickel coin we know today. This unique dodecagonal shape makes it one of the most recognizable coins in the world and is a key part of its identity. It is the largest Australian coin in circulation by diameter and one of the heaviest in the world. So, is the value of the 1999 Elizabeth II 50-cent coin really high or low? The answer is both. The standard coin's value is low, just 50 cents. It's not an investment piece, but the proof silver version and the masterpieces in silver version prove that the value can be exceptionally high. The value of the masterpieces in silver coin can fluctuate, but individual coins from this set regularly sell for upwards of $40 to $100 or more, depending on condition. It's a treasure hunt. Most people have the common version, but a lucky few might have the silver proof or the Memories coin tucked away. Don't let the low value of the everyday coin discourage you. The story of the 1999 50-cent coin is a lesson in numismatics. Rarity, composition, and condition are everything. Check your coins, look for the silver finish, and see if you have one of the special editions. The maximum price for these valuable versions can be significant. The value of a PR69 Deep Cameo, a near-perfect proof coin, could be quite high. A complete, perfect set of the masterpieces in silver would be worth even more. This is where the real money is. It's not about the 50 cents, it's about the collector's market. Motivate yourself to look at your change with new eyes. Every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a lot of money. The 1999 50-cent coin is a perfect example of how a little bit of knowledge can turn a seemingly ordinary item into a valuable treasure. This coin represents a significant moment in Australian history. It features the new portrait of a beloved monarch and the classic, iconic coat of arms. Whether you have the common version or a rare silver proof, you hold a piece of history in your hand. So to wrap it all up, the standard 1999 50-cent coin is not valuable, but the proof silver versions, especially the one from the Masterpieces in Silver set, can be worth a significant amount, potentially hundreds of dollars. This is a story of hidden gems and the thrill of the hunt. Now go and check your coin collection. You might just be sitting on a small fortune.